Real stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on?
You know, it's a big day today. We got a big game. Duck game tonight against the Huskies. See if they can give them a little payback for their early season fuck up, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
is what it is.
They weren't quite ready. They weren't quite ready to get started.
That was the best game Washington has played all year, and arguably our second worst game we've played all year. So as long as we play our game, I think it's
what do you
gonna be a
think
good
was
one.
the worst game they played all year?
Texas Tech. I was there at that game, and I remember it was super funny because Dan Lanning's wife and family was right in front of us when we were sitting. So the whole game, like I was just chatting her. Her and Dan are both like, I've met him too. Some of the nicest, like their kids are like Southern gentlemen. They are just like a good
Nice.
family. And so the whole game, we were like talking with her and chatting her up because she was super nervous, and that was a fun game, but that's a tough place to play too. Texas is just a tough place to play in general in the state.
And where is the Pac-12 championship today? Remind me. Vegas. That's right. Yeah, I've got a friend I was hanging out with on Monday who's going down to the game. She works for Pepsi, and so she's in the Pepsi box.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carly. I doubt she's listening, but
God give her a shot. I know my parents were supposed to go down.
There's no awareness of this podcast at all, so why would she be?
Are you sure she's not out of the 3 that are on the podcast? Come on.
I suspect heavily none of them are her, because she's also English, which is
good to know.
Yeah.
You know all the English people, right?
I know many of them, yes.
All out of how many? 50 million?
It's about that, 60 something, I think.
Well, yeah, one of my best friends in college and one of my roommates, his dad is from like Manchester-ish area, and then his mom's from Gladstone. And so I think he's going to go over there for his master's program. He's going to go over to the UK.
Up in Portland?
No, I meant Glasgow, not Gladstone.
Glasgow, okay.
Yeah, so he's as the most British guy I know, probably.
Excuse you?
I mean, outside of you, obviously.
Yeah.
Besides present company.
Obviously.
You want to talk about crypto?
I think
Ducks win all day long. We know that.
They should.
It's going to be a great game to watch. And
unless they duck it up.
You practiced that one before we went live.
I did. I know.
I like that.
It's so cheesy. I do dad jokes all day long with my son.
See if you can get it in one more time before the end of the podcast.
Oh, I will. Ducks are favored by 9.5. So
that's come down.
Yeah, it was like
when we were looking at it, it was 13.
13. Yeah, I think it opened at 13.
I
don't know.
At one point, whatever.
They should win.
Yeah,
they should.
Vegas usually has a pretty good eye for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about crypto.
What you got up there? Flip.xyz.
Flip.xyz is by far the best NFT. Like, if you want to chart, trade, look at the different NFTs, it is the best. It's the best one that's out there. The reason I brought it up is because I got an offer this morning. I tweeted it out that for like 7 something ETH for one of my pudgy penguins, and I was like, damn, they were like up to 7 ETH.
Wow.
Yeah,
for a pudgy penguin.
For pudgies. Yeah, I think I bought it. I think I bought it back.
Are we calling it now that NFTs are back?
Oh, look, dude, everything's back. Everything is back.
My kid keeps Mason keeps freaking yapping on at me that he wants a Bored Ape, and I'm like, dude, no. And then he was also trying to convince me that he needed a pair of Nike Lemonades, and I was like, what?
I don't even know what those are. Nike Lemonades.
Blake knows because he laughed because he knows that they're what, $300,000 or something stupid.
Yeah,
what?
Something insane. It's their
why?
Yeah,
why?
Because it's Nike.
I don't know. Nike's gone crazy.
It's just the way. What happens is that were you looking for them on like StockX or something like that?
It wasn't StockX, but it was something similar to that. Mason pulled it up for me yesterday. I might still have it on my phone actually. It was and then he was looking at these Nike Freddy Krugers. You seen those? $681,000.
What's happening? Where am I?
On StockX actually. Dunk Low Freddy Krueger, $3.06 million for a pair of fucking shoes.
Well, okay, so people talk about NFTs and dumb monkey pictures, right? Like this is the floor for the Bored Apes that we're looking at right here, which we're sitting at 28 ETH, which I would agree is dumb. But Freddy Krueger Nikes for 600 grand?
600 grand. Well, no, sorry, the Freddy Kruegers, 3.06 million is what they're being asked for on StockX.
Okay.
For a pair of shoes.
So let's be real. Let's be real here. Yes, and a lot of these NFTs are garbage. They do absolutely nothing. The Bored Apes were one of them. They came out with a dumb monkey picture, and then they had to, try and find some use cases. Look, the reason I had Pudgies up is because Pudgies, they've actually done some stuff, like in the sense of put themselves into Walmart. They've got their little Pudgy deals that are out there. I mean, Azuki's have completely killed their brand. They've just put on some parties and gave people jackets. Outside of that, they haven't done shit. Like, give me some NFTs that do something. Like, we've said this from the get-go. Like, from the get-go. And it's sadly, they made money and then they've tried to come back and add utility, add something to it afterwards. So unfortunately, it becomes quite the ordeal. But I own some Pudgies and I own these NFTs because I was there to make money. I was there for the Roy, dude. I was there for the Roy.
You're a Roy boy.
They did well with Azukis. I still own a couple. I've done well with Pudgies and I still own a couple. And yes, I think everything's back. Like it's a bull run, dude. Like we're in the beginning of the bull run.
Well, I hate when you say things like that.
I know.
We never speak its name, but you say this thing all the time, and I just can't quite get myself 100% on board for it yet.
But see, the reason I say it is because I needed to fulfill my thesis of, I can't have December be that good of a month, right? December, I told you.
You said it was going to be flat.
Flat, maybe down, maybe up a little bit. It's going to.
And then, of course, the SEC fucked you this morning by saying that they opened their comment period on Ethereum ETFs.
Yeah,
it's coming too.
It's okay. Like we still have the whole month. This is the first day of the month.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they could also just shut it all down.
And they will. Once it gets up to 42, they'll be like, "But we're not going to approve anything," and then they'll drop back down, and we'll sit in that range, and then we're going to go, and I'm going to dive in and buy some more Bitcoin around 33. And then the real bull run starts to hit. Then it gets excited. Then next year you get the ETFs.
Well, you just said we were in the beginning of the bull run.
Yeah, but
not the real one. It's a different one.
It's the same one. It's just a different time frame of the bull run.
Got it.
So, but I think I posted in the Discord jokingly. It's time to open up 100x long on Bitcoin. So it would have played out well. I mean, woke up this morning and it was looking pretty. So. Only up a couple percent, but still, if you 100x it, you make at least $2.
Definitely not investment advice, though.
None of this is. Where's that little ticker, Blake? Put that ticker up. There we go.
This is not financial advice. Do not 100x long Bitcoin.
Yeah, do not do it. Do not play with fire. I think that we've had things that we'll probably talk about that have been doing well.
Yep.
We'll start with Atlas. Because
we talked about it last week on the podcast, didn't we?
I can't remember. Did we talk about Atlas on the podcast?
Maybe you and I had a private conversation.
We had a private conversation.
I know. I jumped in on it, and it's been great for me this week. So
I did post it in the Discord, so everybody that listens is from the Discord anyway. Yeah, it was. Really, this is a call that probably will not come true, but if it does, it'll be great. I think Atlas is the Axie Infinity of this bull run, not comparing the game at all, because the game of Atlas is 150 million times better than Axie Infinity.
It's beautiful when you look at it. It's so crazy.
The game is way better. Well, the correlation I'm making is, I think that the ability for Atlas to run and do in terms of, returns is going to be way much like Axie was, where it led the pack out of all those play and earn, whatever you want to call them type of games. And I think Atlas can be that one. I mean, it's been out for a while and it bottomed out in the, 0.1 of a cent, 0.1 of a penny for a while there. And I talked about it back then too. Like it was looking good. They were getting a lot of hype. Their tokenomics came out with a little more detail to them. Their tokenomics are decent. I mean, way better than what Axie had, way better than any of these play to earn games had.
Well, it's a DAO. It's it's organized to be, there's like a two-sided token to it. We put out an article on this. They have the Atlas token and then the Polis token, which essentially is the governance token for the community. So, when you have the access to allow people to guide it in the directions that the players want to see it go. I mean, that's what people in, Gala and stuff have been wanting for a long time. And the fact that they just integrated it directly into their game right off the bat, I think is made the community feel, really passionate.
100%. I mean, I like what they're doing. I like their, the main dev. I never pronounce his name right on Twitter, but he's active, man. I think he's out there just, pumping his shit. It was, Jesus, aka, formerly known as Classy, called him out and did something about, I think they did a race, or they played against each other in the game, which was great. I don't know. It's a cool culture. I like the people. I like the game is a good game. It's a fun game. It's way better than Axie. So I think it's got a lot of room to run. And so I think in terms of the return side, I think Atlas can be the Axie of this bull run. And then when we talk the other side of it, so you have the game, and then you have like I mean, what is Gala now? Like, they want to call themselves an L1, but they can't be an L1 until they actually release it. But they're what would you classify Gala as?
Oh,
bless you.
Bless you. It's tough because it's, I think when you look at an L1, you expect to be able to, validate it outside of Gala, like being able to operate independently on an L1 without, I don't know, when we get to a point when the chain is fully public, I think at that point you might be
they're not an L1. They're not an L1. We can't call them.
I don't think they're ever going to be an L1 either.
What would you call them?
A game company or an entertainment company, and they're about as Web 2 as Web 2 gets. It's not.
I know. Well, okay, so
they had great aspirations and made a lot of promises about.
So during the last bull run, they were trying to be the Steam of Web3 gaming, essentially, right? So
got a lot of developers out, the third-party developer contracts in, like publish your game on Gala, on our platform, but the promise of the Geary chain and the Gala chain and whatever was still just out in the open out there, but they were, those games had to come in and run on ETH.
And so I think
they're still going to do that.
So for the correlation that I have here, so you have those companies that are, collaborating with different game companies, or they have their own games internally. I mean, Treasure.lol, they're one I really like. Bull, they copy pasted Gala from the get-go, but they've changed a lot of things up. I like bullish on Bull in what they're doing. There's no bullshit that they have going on. Is this so bad?
You made me get out of bed and come in here for this.
Yes, the Kassan.
Make me spend my last day at 46
you're
listening
welcome
to that garbage.
You're welcome.
Well,
there's Myria too. Myria is okay. Go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then I'll talk about Myria.
Well, I've forgotten now because you interrupted me.
I'm a bastard. Damn, I'm horrible today.
You're great. I think that Gala has number one, I think that Gala's success in the future will most likely come from being somewhat chain agnostic. I think that if they were to say, well, we built this Gala chain, is it any good? Probably not. But all the games that are published on their platform should be somewhat chain agnostic. They should be truly Web3. My understanding is that is not currently on the roadmap, and that essentially is still using a lot of databasing and centralized databasing to manage, player assets, etc. Whereas realistically, they should just open it up and say, well, if you've got assets that live on the ETH chain, cool, you can use them in the game. And you can trade them outside of the game, and you can trade them on exchanges. And if you have assets that are on Solana, cool. Attach Core, the Core wallet, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, they're kind of moving everybody in that direction already anyway. And I think Gala are just too late to the party to create their own L1 for starters. It's never going to be able to compete because they don't have the development resources, and they're already 5 years behind.
Yeah, that was my argument from the get-go with them. Is why develop a layer one? And they're going to say that they're, and Brink talked about it. If you're going to have 43 million people playing, which they're comparing themselves to Farmville at its peak of 43 million people playing, the amount of transactions that are going to go through, that there is 0 layer ones out there that would be able to handle it. I mean, I don't know if you can say 0, but I would tend to agree with them in the fact that what we have seen with all of your layer ones out there, meaning Sol, Polygon, Ethereum, AVAX, anytime that there is a massive amount of transactions that go through, just watch when any type you start to see, price increase and it gets really frothy. Just go do transactions on there and see how much they increase in transactions, see how much slower it gets. Every single one of them have done the same thing. Now I haven't dove into other, Cosmos, any of those other layer ones that really don't have anything going on them. So maybe they're right. Maybe they do need that amount of throughput in the transaction side of things to be able to do it. But it's tough to say. Why not build, why not use a layer one that would work well now? Use a Polygon, use a Sol, use an AVAX now instead of Ethereum, which is definitely price prohibitive to run, but throw it on AVAX. AVAX actually has a really good game chain that they've developed for Web3 games. Why not use that while you're developing the layer one? And
whatever they do, that layer one has to deliver more than AVAX is able to deliver currently.
Yeah.
But they're still already too late to the race in order to be successful.
And what they're not doing, what they would do at that point in time is continue forward with all of their movement, with all of their games, not have to worry about it being on, their own layer one, which is it ready yet? I don't know. I was told that I was going to get one of the validators this month, so we'll see.
Maybe.
But that was out. That was in their Discord. They said in December, end of the year. So could be here. I'll be excited for it if it works. This would be great. I mean, let's rock and roll. Miri is the other one that was kind of 100% copycatted Gala in the terms of trying to be the, Steam of Web3. And they, did the nodes and did all that kind of stuff. They are incredibly close to the chest when it comes to they don't hype things. They're not in there going oh, you're going to shit your pants when you see this happen. Stuff like that within the Discord. They're pretty quiet. They just kind of be like, hey, we've got this announcement, of this new game. And then they come out with the new game. I don't know. Miri's is kind of an enigma to me because I haven't really jumped into him as much. We run nodes and that's about it.
I think it's, but I don't know if you've looked much at Elixir games, but they are, when you look at just trying to be a game platform, they're the closest, I think, to being the Steam of Web3 because they don't have nodes. It's essentially just a Web3 game aggregator. And so I sometimes I almost think I'm okay, if you want to be the, Steam of Web3, then do it. But doing everything else alongside of that is going to take away from that primary vision. So I don't, sometimes I guess, especially with Miri, I don't necessarily know what their end goal is. I don't know.
And that's exactly what I was just saying. Is like Gala should know who they are, stay who they are, be the best that they can be, and if you're stretching out to try and create an L1 without the real absolute raison d'etre for a L1 within your ecosystem, which to me seems, I think they want the L1 so they can run lots of layer 2s in individual games, right? That's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's what they want. So
that's what they say they want.
Otherwise, Gala's just an L2 running on L1, and then they have lots of the L3s that are feeding up into the L2, and then I get why they maybe want to, but is it the right business move?
No,
I don't think so.
Well, the other aspect, which I've been very vocal about that I don't agree with, is the fact that they want more control over what it is that goes in and out of the like node owners, the games. That's why they implemented the honor system, which I can 100% say here is a 100% failure and should never have been implemented, and they should take it away and stop playing their dumb games with that. But then we voted in the node owners another one, which is essentially what's going to happen with this. They just pushed everything over, which I want to be clear too. So people are upset about the allowance, right? They call it the Gala allowance. That's on.
Dumb name.
It's a really bad name, but it's not what you think. So everybody's like, this is the allowance. This is all I'm going to be able to mint. And then if I can mint this and I'm going to get penalized. That's not what that means. That's just basically what it is your node did work and you got awarded this. And so you're allowed to mint that, just like it's the old treasure chest is what it is. So you just have to take that as it is. And so the problem, and this is why I said on the head of the game with Brink, is communication. So your communication is that this is your allowance, everybody. You're allowed to mint this without getting what everybody's thinking is, without getting penalized, with the new vote that's supposed to get implemented. But that's not what it is. It's just what you've earned. So again, their communication shouldn't have been allowance. There's like, so let's think of, and I understand where Brink's saying it's like the best word for what it is. I would agree with that, but you're still communicating to your customers. And, a lot of them were not happy since the vote was not,
conclusive.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a landslide in one way.
Very, very thin margin.
Yeah. So, half of your clients or half of your, customers
didn't want that.
Didn't want it. And so, yeah, of course they're going to look at it and be like, oh, this is it. This is what they're telling me. This is my allowance I get. And they're going to be upset with it. So,
because it's the epitome of centralization, which
exactly
what
Thank
we
you.
did not want. We wanted, distributed. What's the word I'm looking for? The whole essence of Web3.
Decentralization.
Decentralization. Thank you. It should be decentralized, but this is very centralized approach to all of it.
Well, yeah, because again, it was who put the vote out?
Gala
did, right? Yeah. And if you read what the vote said, it was very one-sided. It was, do you want to ruin the ecosystem? Vote for this thing. Or do you want the best thing that's going to be for you? Vote for this thing. It was very, worded in that direction, which again, communication. They know a lot of times what they're saying. Sometimes I differ with that. They definitely have a communication issue, and they can argue with me as much as they want, but communication is probably the biggest thing for me that they need to work on.
Yeah.
But we're going down the Gala
route. That alongside delivering on some promises that have been made along the way.
Always.
Like integrity is a good one. Anyway, yeah, we should get off Gala because we end up just talking about Gala. And
the whole reason we got into it is because I was trying to compare who's going to be the Gala of this bowl room, right? And so, I think it's probably going to come down to a Miria or a Bull playable. And it could be either one. I prefer the way Playable's doing it. I like the transparency that they have. Like, go to their Discord. They're pretty wide open with everything that they're doing. And I love it. So, that's kind of my guess that would happen, but Miria just as well could. Their token is doing things as well.
Look at that.
It looks pretty. It looks like it wants to go to a gajillion. So, but Atlas is the go to a gajillion. So Atlas is the Axie, and I'm going to say Bull is going to be the Gala of this run. So who knows? But what are you looking at these days?
This is not financial advice.
None of it's ever financial advice. What am I looking at these days? Mostly the things you tell me to look at. I haven't.
I don't tell you to look at anything.
No. The things that we end up talking about, and like for example, I got into Atlas. I got into Playable. What was the other one that?
Aimbot? Did you get into Aimbot?
I did not. I mean, bonk.
You should look at Shrapnel because I wonder how that's doing amongst all.
Apparently, me just looking up stuff just kills Blake's side of things. So,
yeah, what's interesting is that there's another bull token out there. You know that, right? It's actually just called bull token.
Is it 3ULL?
No, that's the one that's Playable games. But there's another bull token which always goes with the other. It's like WorldCoin, right? It's two different WorldCoins out there.
Yeah,
and there's one of them that's decent and actually has a project behind it, and the other one is just a shitcoin. But they do tend to go up together, so you can make money on the shit one.
That's always a good. That's actually it's interesting. It's when it even does it in the stock market. You'll get something that gets announced and then it has a ticker and it's like, oh,
it's very similar to another ticker. And it's,
Pyth is a good one to talk about. I actually mentioned this in the Discord too.
We talked about it on the last podcast for sure.
We did, and Chris Blackburn came and he likes to listen to his talking heads through YouTube, and he's like he really was like Pyth is going to be great, and I agree. Like the Pyth network seems to be very user friendly in the terms for developers on that side, and fast and cheap and all the things that everybody talks about. That's there. It actually is used by my new favorite DEX, which is Jupiter.
I like Jupiter too. I played around with Jupiter this week, and that was a hot tip, not financial advice because it wasn't. It was just use this DEX, and I was like, this is the DEX of the day because it's awesome.
It is the best. I mean, you put limit orders in, you can DCA into it, which I think is awesome.
And it sits there and you can watch it do it as well, which I really enjoy. I like sitting there and it's wow, okay, this thing is doing my job. It's like Shrimpy back in the day. Remember
Shrimpy? I do. Yes, I do. And it, it's the Pyth. It's run with the Pyth network, right? It's on top of the Pyth network, and it's smooth. It's fast. It's efficient.
Me. I like a good backbone. That's I like that tech stuff. I mean, I also enjoy shit coins, obviously, obviously, and meme coins.
Well, we have a little
those backbone coins are what I've always wanted for the technology. That's what I want to invest in. I want to invest in.
We have a little bet going, don't we?
We do. We have a bet by the end of December. Top 50 for Pyth. $100.
50 for Pyth. Let's see.
It was 81, I think, earlier by market cap. So 680 million.
Okay.
Something like that.
We'll find out.
This was 2 days ago, so I don't know where it's at this morning. Actually, I can tell you where it's at this morning.
89.
89. Okay.
I mean, it's got a little ways to go.
Well, it's not just it, though, is it? It's the other things that are in front of it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be tough for it to break that in the fact that it has to go past everything else that's up there. And when we get, the rising tide lifts all ships, they're all going to go up as well as it. Now,
I don't know. There's a couple in there. We're not going to go back to that conversation, but there's another one out there that's above it that is probably not going to be above it very soon.
Yes, agreed. Although it's up 6% today.
I know, I saw that.
So
it's been doing some weird stuff recently.
Yeah, who knows what's happening over there? But I don't know. I like the backbone, like you said. Like this is the tech that is hard being used.
It's not garbage.
Yeah,
shit coinery and jumping on bandwagons. It's actually hard tech that runs the industry.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. I'm down. What about you, Blake? What kind of shit coins you buying over there? What have you been researching lately?
I think that I've been researching most just AVAX chains specifically, just because I like what they're doing on AVAX. I think, obviously that's where the bull token is. I think even though what's going on with Shrapnel, I think the Shrap token has some potential. I mean, it's been up a little bit, at least for me personally, because I got into it a little while ago.
I like it because it's Cockney slang for pocket change. Shrapnel.
Well, I also like it for the game itself. I mean, it's a soup. We saw it when Nate was down here at Consensus. There's just, I like that one for the game it is. I think if there's a game that people actually like playing, there'll be legs to it. So I've still been trying to dive more into some of the like AI tokens as well, like Fetch. Oh, what was the other one? I thought it started with maybe an A, but I might be spacing on it. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh God, Fetch. Oh, I want to. Oh man, that looks delicious.
Yeah, Fetch has been. I've been in Fetch for a little while now, just because it was honestly just.
Well, we got into Fetch because of Cranty.
A long time ago, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I've got plenty of Fetch, and I've had it for a long time.
Oh, look at this cloud. This is the weekly cloud. I mean, it looks like it wants to jump to the top of the cloud pretty easily. So easy 15% move here. But that is the longest that cloud there. Holy crap. Obviously hindsight, the whole AI, movement on that thing was, in our face the entire time. Like, oh, look, ChatGPT. Oh, let's buy more of these AI tokens. Yep. But it looks good. It looks really good.
Ultimately, if you listen to Reddit, it's going to destroy humanity, but whatever.
Yeah, but whatever. Nobody cares about that.
Can I be rich when it does? Yeah.
Yes, you can have all the money in the world. You'll be just fine. Yeah. Just buy yourself an island. Humanity's dead.
Yeah, you, me, and CZ.
Oh yeah,
go three ways on an island.
Once he gets out in 18 months,
he won't be extradited from our island. We'll have no extradition treaties.
Done.
We don't even have a boat.
AI tokens. That's the problem that I always have, especially when it's bull run time, is that there's so many tokens I want to get into. So there's all of them. And I don't do it because I like to be concentrated. So
is it ARPA, Blake?
No, the one I was thinking of is AGIX, is at least the name on here. That was another one that I'd been just kind of alongside or that's not the chart I have. I might be having a different one. Or I guess I have a chart with a lot longer history. I'm on the Binance one.
USDT.
I was thinking out, on that. Yeah, okay.
I think so.
AGIX USDT. I'm on weekly though, so maybe that's why it's not looking.
That could be the case. Why mine looks so different.
Yeah, daily. I mean, much like everything right now looks really good. I'll tell you that FET one looks like an easy 10% trade though. Like I'll probably jump into that as soon as we get down here. 100x long, right? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Not financial advice.
No, definitely not. Don't follow what I do. I lose all my money. I'm an idiot.
The Magic's up as well. Look at that.
Yeah, I like Magic. I don't have enough Magic. I've been putting it into other things, even though I've been super bullish on Magic. I made a lot of money on it from way back. Mm-hmm. We're talking about last year. It was actually a year ago, I think. Yeah, because because it was that December, January time frame.
Yep.
And we had the good run up, and it looks like it's definitely moved itself back into the position of I should probably allocate more money there. Yes.
Nice. We should look at Bonk.
Oh, fine. I just want to rub it in.
I just want to say. I just want your opinion.
Garbage. It's going to zero. Going to zero.
Well, I could call that.
Jesus. These charts, they always kill me. It's like when people they get on Twitter and they're going to start to shill you something that's already up 20x. Why aren't you in Bonk? Not to say that it can't go up another 10x or 100x, because they do. But damn, buying into that stuff at that point in time, that's a tough one for me.
I've had fun.
Oh, I know you have.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you. Because I just didn't listen to you, and that's my fault, because I normally will listen to your shitcoin talks, because you get some good picks, and this was another one.
Yep.
Should have listened. Now, if we get another big dip, I might dip my toe in when we get a big dip, but not now. Definitely not now. But
should launch Kissinger coin.
It's probably already gotten launched. I think it actually did get launched. And the moment he died, somebody launched it.
Yeah.
It's insane like how fast those things get launched.
I'm in crypto. How can I celebrate or commiserate the death of this man?
It's so weird.
I need a token.
Yeah, make another token of it. Yeah, I mean, you know what I need to do? No, I don't need to do that. Never
you
mind.
know what I'm going to do this weekend?
I can't say that out loud.
Research another shit coin.
Oh, you're going to research another one? You want to drop it here first?
Yeah, I'll research one for next week.
Okay.
And,
okay.
I'll let you know.
Oh, you're going to let me know. You're not going to tell me what it is now? Or you're just...
Oh, no, I said research. I can sit here quietly for like 10 minutes and you can fill the airspace.
No.
While I research a shit coin.
Let's do this. Let's end it here.
Okay.
And let's go have lunch.
Let's go have lunch.
I'm freaking hungry.
I'm hungry too, actually.
Nobody's commenting, so nobody wants to know anything. So
no.
Yeah.
Blake's hungry too.
There.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've got to get a good base because I am going to be drinking while watching the game. It is also my birthday weekend, so from here on out,
Hey, I'm gonna buy you a drink and I'm gonna buy you lunch.
Nice. Thanks, Nate.
I love it. Well, for the people that joined us, thank you. We should probably do a little bit more official, like maybe like put something out, like, hey, we're gonna talk about these things later. Maybe get some questions for people.
Yeah,
I think everyone's going to tune in next week because they're going to get my shitcoin recommendation.
There you go. See, tune in next week for the shitcoin recommendation.
Yep.
I love
it.
Guys just but it's not financial.
It's not.
Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll figure it out.
No, I can't do Friday next week. I've got to go down to California.
What is the next tournament? Anyways, we'll stop talking on this crap and then we'll figure it out. You guys will know. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the weekend and go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks, baby.